talk about power, right? So when you talk about self-realization, God, everything, it's all within ourselves. All you need to do is just bring that. That's it. You don't need to search anything.
Very well said. And in product coaching, that power is known as product manager,
Yep.
so-called, right? But I always wonder, is that product manager is powerful or customer is more powerful?
Depends on where the role sits.
Yeah.
I can give you 100 different examples on where this side of the role is more powerful than the other side of the role. Vice versa, both I'm talking about.
Yes, because how I do see is customer is king in any of the era, right? Product owner or any of the person exists because of customer, right?
So you're right, but look at very successful product companies. What a very good example, Apple. They are disruptors. So they own that. They say, I do this, you want to join us, otherwise just ignore, leave.
Very well. And there is secret sauce of Apple, right? Apple is having some secret sauce, right?
It's not source. I would even more attribute it to what they are doing. Maybe that flexibility or innovation, whatever you want to call it as. Maybe I'm not aware of what is internally they are doing. But there have been a lot of videos about Steve Jobs, looking for perfection. And perfection is not that 100%. Even it has some flaws. But in what sense you're looking at that perception? I mean, perfection. Sorry, that's very important.
Very well said. It's all about how we see value, right?
Yeah. What is the value? Yes.
There is a saying that value is in eyes of beholder, right?
Yeah.
That we are looking at. Very well said, Ananta. Totally agree with you. And I believe we are on time now. We are going to be 9:20.
Yeah, Sunil, I think we can get started. Please go ahead.
Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, good awesome people, good evening, awesome people, depending upon which part of the world you are. I see people from different world places. And this is all about product. Yeah, product coaching. That is what we'll be talking. And whenever we say product coaching, and as Ananta was rightly saying Apple, right? If I say what is common between Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, because their culture are different, their people are different, the technology space are different, everything is different, but all of them are still very successful. Any guess why? What is behind that? Which is common thing? And that common thing, let me share that secret source. That common thing is coaching. All these people, either it is Google, Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, all of their leader got coached by same person. And that person is none other than Campbell, who has been Silicon Valley great coach. That is all about product coaching. Yeah. Product coaching is not just about one design, not about development, not about delivery. Product coaching is about mindset. That is what we look for. That is, we look into, is it valuable to customer? Is it useful? Can customer use it? And third one, can engineer build it? Do they have those technologies, right? And fourth one is it viable enough? Will the customer will pay enough so that we can keep on building? So that is about product coaching, which we'll be talking about today. And I have great leader with me today. Let me start with Harish. Yeah. I have Harish with me, who is having 20+ years of experience in diverse areas. 10 years in product management, product ownership, and he worked for multiple organizations, even in B2B space. And then I will take it to our awesome person, Balaji. Yeah. I believe a lot of you know Balaji already, right? Balaji has been a product leader over 20 years of experience, leading agile transformation in organizations. And then we have Vijay. And Vijay is again an industry leader. Moreover, he is a vivid learner, helping the team to adapt product-based mindset. And last but not the least, I'm your host facilitator, Sunil Gulia. Yeah, I'm a product coach. Yeah, come Agile coach and professional Scrum trainer from scrum.org. And on that note, let me throw some fire on these people, right? Because it is fireside chat. And you may be thinking, Sunil, where is fire? So let me throw some fire for these people. And that fire will be, let me start with a very firing question. That in today's scenarios, when we talk about why organizations are moving to product-based mindset, and that is what I would like to hear from Vijay and Balaji, that what is their thought? What has happened that we were talking about project and now we are talking about product suddenly? Is there some magical stick we have? So Balaji, I would love to hear from you first that what you believe organizations are becoming product-based. Why? What has happened?
Okay, thanks, Sunil. The more what we see from the organizations, from the different customers, the lot of people are thinking about how do I earn the value, which are the budget we have spent sooner, right? So that's one of the things which they are trying to envisage. The second thing is like now being everybody moving to digital, it's all more towards customer facing. So customer centricity is now the main thing. Earlier also it was there, but as and when these digital products came, mobile products came, then more importance was given to the users, right? So that's one of the reason why it's all becoming product mindset. Yeah, Vijay.
Vijay, what you would like to add to this? Do you have some different thing or is it really a magic things like Balaji said?
Yeah, I have my perspective or experience, right, working into this space. So what we observe, right, uniquely, even though, right, we have different transformation initiatives, right, across organizations, right, they try to bring the same thing, right? How do I bring my customer closer? How do I bring more value? How do I make it sooner, super, right, and happier? But with that quest, what is basically happening around is your entire organization is not structured in that way where you can basically get maximum benefits from a user perspective or a customer perspective. So product-based mindset, it talks about bringing all those people together from a product perspective and do frequent prototyping, product discovery continuously, not just one fancy day, product idea doesn't work, keep it aside and then focus on your work. No. So it needs, I'll give an example of cricket, right? Recently, we have different sort of right team composition, right? Consider it as a product team, right? You have 11 players, right? What if batsmen do not perform, right? Suddenly the other people feel the heat and you may lose the game, right? So within each team, we have specific roles, right? We don't have something called as all 11 all-rounders, right? And that's why if you see the success ratio of even the base team, it is not 100%. It is not 80%. It is somewhere between 50 to 60%. But what they achieve to become successful is a capability where they do not rely on each other. Rather, people step up, they do the activities as and when needed. Same thing happens, right, with our IT industry or organizations, right? People doing one set of job may not help, right? Even though you are doing transformation. For that, you need multifaceted skills. And how do you feel? How do you help each other for the one goal? That is nothing but to win here, right? In this team's case, And from product perspective, that is nothing but how do you bring your customers first? How do you add value upfront across the flow? That is all about product coaching. It's not only product management or not about teaching product leaders. It's bringing entire organization into that culture where people see the importance and then they experiment together. That's all about product coaching from.
Interesting,
Um,
both of you.
so-
If I simply ask Balaji, how would you define a product, right? We have the team, like Vijay gave an example of cricket team, right? Balaji, how in a simplest way you will say what a product is about?
So when I started this whole journey of product design or understanding product, everything, right? I came across this book called, what is that? The Design of Everyday Things by Don Norman, right? Um, and this is where when we got into the design thinking workshops and trying to understand the user, are actually the expert brought in this book called this book, and then they said that this book is about how you make products, right? So why why we have to give to the people more importance, right? So we design products based on user needs, and the user needs have to be simple and easy, right? So anything whichever you develop as a product, right, it should be something which should be easily usable and easily adoptable by the people. And what we see in the industry is like we term this called feature factory, and a lot of features are getting developed but not used by the end users many times, right? So this is something which we have to keep in mind when we design the product or we design the systems, right? So try to avoid feature factory.
So message is that, yeah, it is not only about one thing, it is about user design, it is about user, product is all about user, right? And we can't be feature factory. But if I see simply that if we are not to be feature factory, who need to be involved in product management, basically? If we talk about product, right? Who will be the people like business, engineers, or who need to be involved? Vijay, would you like to talk on that part?
Sure, Sunil. Uh, Short and sweet answer is pretty much everyone who is going to be part of your ecosystem. Ultimately, it can be your sales, marketing folks also. It can be your product management guys. It can be user experience, engineering, delivery, right? Portions also. But largely, if you see, the product management implementation part is owned by something we call it as a product team. It is again a sort of an agile team, you can say, but the key difference is you have frequent ability to do something called as product discovery. Each iterations, you iteratively do product discovery, you validate your assumptions every now and then you just not validate, but you check with your customer business. Is it making sense? Are we moving in right direction? And then that's where the role of product manager is very critical, because this is the person who needs to have that exquisite understanding about these things, where product should be heading. And important aspect is product coaching, right? Many a times what we have seen, these product managers, they struggle to help their customers. They do not have much sort of ability, right, or prior experience where they struggle to understand how to build great product, how to build good product, which can be easily, as mentioned by Balaji, right, it easily used by customer. That's the first paramount importance, right, we should take a look at. And then we should be obsessed with the customer, not with the solutions. We should be selling our dream, right? That's what product manager role is so crucial. And if you don't get that coaching, you would see what would happen, right? Like any other product, the product may go just somewhere, right? So we would lose a lot of money, investments, and yeah, these are the few things.
Thank you. So what I understand is that everyone who need to give the effort to bring the product to life, those need to be part. engineer, for example, designer, for example, product people, for examples, and involve your customer early and often, right? That's what the message is, Vijay, right? So
Yep.
now we know who is required, why we need to. Now let's talk on what we need to do and what is required to move toward product mindset or to be a product-based organization. Balaji, what do you think about that? That what we can do to move toward that mindset?
For organization, if they want to move to a product-based organization, I think there are multiple approaches. It all depends on the context of the organization, right? How do you organize people around value is bigger question in the industry, right? So if that is been cracked properly, then you are actually going to deliver a good products to the organization, right? Then second, why do we organize people around the value? It's because if you start looking at 5 years before, Jess Humble wrote this book called Accelerate. He put a very, what do you say, kind of a bomb in all the organizations saying that you guys are not fast enough, right? The Dora metrics, right? So then everybody started looking at what is this guy telling, how do my system performance, who is using it, how soon I can restore my systems, etc., etc. Then the whole moment started happening that we are organized wrongly, a lot of silos are happening, and then what we deliver is not what was expected. And most of the things, if I remember, one of the Netherlands bank company bank actually was rated as 1 or 0, 1 star, right? Then this all like 7 years back, all this journey started. The organizing around value is very important, and you need to understand that how you are organized. There are a lot of techniques around using it, either using your value stream consortium techniques or team topologist techniques to understand the cognitive noise around how do you organize, and then will help you to what do you say, deliver fast the systems faster, right? So now in the industry, what we see, many customers are asking like, are we a product organization? Is my operating model product oriented operating model? Correct? Then we tend to ask so many questions and then say that no, you are not there, you have to be like this and all those stuff, right? So the trend is everybody is moving to product oriented organization, and product oriented target operating model is what is actually the biggest trend in the industry which is happening. And it's good to have those moments now, because a lot of learning is there, and you tend to get more knowledge of how organization functions, rather than helping teams and a larger group of people to work in certain fashion. Now it's all paradigm is changing and shifting it, so that it's a good time for us to learn a lot of things.
Okay, so you are not one of the people who want team to run very fast. You are saying, hey, speed is not everything. Maybe you are running very fast, but maybe you are running in a circle, right?
Correct.
So you will not reach anywhere. So align with your value streams, what value you want to deliver to customer, what value you want to bring to team and organization, right? And that is what mindset we need. Yeah. If I look into that, that is pure product mindset, but how to achieve that? Moving to next, I would like to hear from Harish that looking on product management, where product coaching fit, where teams come into that. Yeah. Harish, you are on mute. So
yeah. Sorry. Thanks for pulling me in. Yeah. So, I mean, everybody understand customer centricity and that product needs to be customer centric. Another aspect which Agile, I mean, is everybody talks about is about servant leadership. So I mean, the concept is that you empower the team, and the team will do whatever the customer needs. So that is another way of looking at the same thing. And as Vijay said, basically we all need to work as a team. It's not about one individual. Everybody needs to contribute. And when we are talking of customer needs, meeting the customer needs, I mean, it is not that the solution would come only from the salespeople, from the end user. The best solution may come from the development team also. So involving the development team in the whole process is very, very important. In my view, I mean, the development team should be involved from the very early stage when you are talking about what needs to be done. So, I mean, the way it works, I mean, in my experience, I mean, I mean, as a product owner or as a product manager, when I go to the team, I don't tell them how what I mean what exactly is to be done and how it is to be done. I start with what is the issue. I mean, what is the issue or what is it that the customer needs? Okay, who is the customer? Okay, and this is what customer is asking. Now let me hear your point of view. So basically, it is about empowering the development team. I mean, that is one part, and obviously the development team needs to have the deep understanding of the product, about the market, about the persona. Once they have it, they are able to contribute significantly towards ideas, to provide best ideas about the how to develop, what is the best way to develop the requirement and meet the customer needs.
So it's all about basically bringing everyone together, right? And that's how we need to. So when we say about product owner, how they respond to design, UI, new things coming, right? So if I ask Balaji, how you will tackle that type of question, right? Okay, product owner is there now, and there is now new design coming, new UI coming. So how you will handle those kind of situation as a product owner in product coaching perspective?
If a new design and the new, so what do you say, the sketches are coming from it, so I would like to look at what is the kind of behavior which your product is going to change, right? And the behavior of the people will differ from society to society, and that will be understood only by doing a user research or market research. Okay, so that you will understand that whether the product can be used, will be used properly or not. It's not that bringing UI is important, but there should be some rationale behind the UI that this is the behavioral change which is going to come. So it's a lot of behavioral science oriented things also will come when you start looking at these kind of things, designing the products, right? And the society which is going to get impacted by using this product. So it all based on region to region, how the product differs, right? So that's what my thing.
So do you believe there will be some cultural things also coming, which what you feel? Basically, as Balaji mentioned, there can be number of elements like geographical may add this, some of the element, right? So do you believe that there will be some cultural things also coming when we talk about design, UI, in perspective of product ownership and product coaching?
I mean, it may come, but as mentioned by Balaji, right? If you do your user or market research wisely, if you do enough discovery, right, upfront, I think you can tackle this risk up to a certain extent. But yeah, few things which we might not comprehend right upfront, right, based on certain regions or cultural differences, right? For example, a very simple sign in the design, right, may be perceived as something different, right, across. So being a product manager, right, it needs a lot of cognitive thinking, right? How my user will think about it, and he or she has to put himself or herself in that shoes. Okay, this is the design. Now what I need to do, is it making sense? Will customers still be happy with it? How their reaction would be, right? Or they will be confused, right? What kind of one emotion, right, you will get out of that design? That is something product manager should try and find, and that's where design thinking approach, right? We say have your design in such a way that it creates more sort of win-win situation, right? Not to your developers, but also to your customers also, right? So those aspects will come in place, and certain aesthetics, look and feels, right? Where that design makes sense within the model, or it complicates your overall architecture, right? How interactions are going to happen between, right? If I introduce this updated sketch or design, right? If I finalize, is it going to have impact on interactions? Is it going to increase my clicks to reach to do final activity? All that research, I think, should be coming in, and based on that, product manager would be able to tackle that situation and give a right advice to your developers that what is making sense, what is not, and provide some thesis behind it.
Wow, you're really bringing very interesting point over here, which bring me operating model of product management, right? So how this will be connected, if I go back to Balaji on this quickly, and then I will come to Harish also, that how this operating model of product management is connected with each other, basically. Because we're talking about design, we are talking about cultural things, which for me look like more product operating models, right? And there is product owner, product management, say, how you will connect the dot between these two things, Balaji? And I would just don't want just an answer. If you can share some examples, that will be helpful for us.
Okay, so how do I say? See, you brought in this point of you brought in this point of value stream, right? Value stream is one construct for you to make teams to be a product organized, but there are other two things which you've seen in the industry from the other clients, which is based on customer journey, right? You can also look at customer journeys to create product teams, right? And there is another domain called business capability driven product teams. Okay, so these three are very famous in the industry. When you say value stream, we get often carried away with safe and that kind of thing, no? But this is another different value stream. Okay, so these three things are very, very important. These things revolve around two important personas in the organization. One is the business stakeholder, right? Maybe salesperson or a marketing person who is going to be there, who is going to bring money to the organization, business to the organization, revenue to the organization, right? And then these are all the stakeholder people, stakeholder management, right? So they are the people who actually very, very important for the product organization or the product operating model. The second is the product leader, right? So we see these new terms apart from the product owner getting created, or product manager, product leader, and then then the business stakeholders, etc. Okay, these roles existed earlier, but we were not talking to them often during your development life cycle or your product development happening. We don't even often talk to these people. Now, when the operating model call up product operating model, the organizations are constructing themselves into product lines, then product groups, and then the product teams, right? So these three roles actually sit in these certain areas of your operating model and then guide the team to deliver a good product. Sunil.
Wow, thank you. So you're creating a whole ecosystem over here by bringing product leadership, product operating group, as well as teams, right? And Harish, how do you think basically that what is the basically accountability of team in this product ecosystem?
Well, I think the team is also, one of the stakeholder in the success of the project. If the project is not successful, they may lose their jobs, right? So they are also one of the stakeholders in the success of the project. And as a stakeholder, they need to be empowered to, decide on how, in what direction we need to move. They need to be involved into everything. Okay. And then I would also bring in another aspect. Not all companies are product companies, right? You have another, I mean, a lot of people are working in IT services company, wherein the product management is somewhere else at the client side, and you have a product owner at the offshore. Right. So in that kind of scenario, I mean, there is a separation of role between product manager and product owner, and I mean that to an extent. I mean, some people don't like that separation. That is also understandable, because you need to have one person who is answerable for everything. But when you have that kind of arrangement onshore, offshore, I mean, it's difficult to have a product manager sitting at offshore. So you need to have a product owner who is constantly interacting with the team. Okay. And the another thing is coaching the team to ask questions, bring them into everything. So with respect to cultural difference, I'll talk with respect to team, what is the cultural differences. So, I mean, in Indian context, for example, people normally expect everything to be told to them. Do this, do this, do this. They are normally quite comfortable. But I mean, we need to bring them out of that comfort zone and make them responsible, make them accountable for the success. And that is, I think, one of the major things that a product owner can bring in.
So you are saying basically team, which are developer basically, right? You are saying everyone, designer, right? The people who do testing, the people who interact with customer, everyone are stakeholder over there to give a great valuable product to everyone, right? Now
Right.
there is in today's scenario, I see a lot of agile coaches who are adding a lot of values to organization, right? And Vijay, how do you believe that these agile coaches who are there, can they be product coaches or they can work very closely with product coach? I will like to hear a couple of things over here, that what are the skill set which will be required to do that? First of all, let's start with, can they be working with these product coaches or they can be product coach themselves? First one. And second one, what will be the skills required for doing this?
Very good question, Sunil. So I just want to conclude earlier discussion, right? Why we are shifting to product-based organization. If you see the crux, it's all about, are you able to make right impact? Are you able to create right outcome at right time? If you observe many of your teams, many of your programs keep on generating value, you talk about that vicious circle, right? But what value or benefit it gives to customers, they even don't know, right? They simply deploy, deliver because they have been asked or their product manager or product owner says so, right? So that's the challenge many organizations are seeing. In order to break this silo, they are creating a uniform flow, right, across, not within specific organizations within organization, but entire organization, right? Now, what do we need to become a product coach, or can an agile coach work with product coaches? Yes, if an organization has developed something called as product-based thinking or product operating model, they would really have some thought leaders sitting in who really know the organization well. They know the context of the organization, how it has evolved, and what are the major products or customers organization is serving and where they want to head. So these leaders may become product coaches initially within organization, and then with them we can pair our agile coaches, try to see, understand how holistically things are moving, and based on certain experience and also learnings, right? That's where we have a lot of exciting content available in the community, right? Lot of literature which makes real sense, right? To set you a foundation. I think everyone has that foundation, right? Needed that foundation to become a coach also. So we also need that foundation, right? So self-learning, working with thought leaders, right? Within your organization, sharing frequent dialogue, making impact with them, you can become a really good product coach. Okay. And can the next part was, right? Can agile coach directly become a product coach?
Can,
Yes.
sorry, can I bring Balaji over there? Because I don't want you to be that Hey, I am doing so. Yeah, like
Go
product
ahead, go
owner.
ahead.
So I will bring Balaji over here. Hey, what do you feel, Balaji? What will be the skills which are required over here?
Sunil, we are running short of time also. We are just left with 8 more minutes, and we need to have questions from participants also.
Thank you, Gaurav. I will be bringing over there. And this is the last topic on this point over here before we go to questions. But I will be doing one firefighting question with group, yeah? Okay, Balaji, quickly, if you can bring what skills you believe.
I think from a product coaching perspective. Okay.
Yes, product coaching perspective, that how product coaching and agile coaches also, if they are to become the product coaches, what skill will be required?
Okay. So we'll take 2 steps back. If you want to become a product manager, domain is very important, whichever the domain you belong to, right? It could be supply chain, retail, oil and gas, manufacturing, banking, financial services. So you need to have domain knowledge to become a product manager. That's the first thing, right? The second thing is like for you to become a product manager, right? There are some 27 competencies are there, which is common across all the product managers, which you need to pick up. Okay, it's all starting from your market research to market fit and market product validation, product launch, etc., etc. There are 27 competencies which are there, very key for the product coaching, right? If you want to become product coaching, while the tools and techniques of how do you tell these competencies can be acquired, for a product manager is a bigger skill, right? And I believe agile coaches, if they have a domain knowledge, then picking up these 26-7 competencies and make it easy for the people to understand how to use these techniques will be very important skill, Sunil.
Wow, thank you for that. And on that note, related with this, I have one firefighting question from one of our audience, which came earlier at registration time. And that to whom I need to shoot. I will shoot it to Harish. Yeah. This product development and agile maturity, we need team maturity also. We need people maturity, process maturity, right? And how do you believe, are we there basically that today we still look for SOWs, right? We still look for contractual things, right? And agile need the maturity. We say, hey, we prefer basically customer negotiations, right? Over contractual things. So how do you see, Harish, around you? Are we there still, or will it still take a long time?
Yeah, I don't think we are there. I mean, yes, some organizations are moving towards that. I mean, if I take the example of my company, I work for an IT services company. So some of our clients are quite mature. We work with them very closely. And most of those projects where we work in that collaborative mode, they are sort of T&M kind of models, wherein there is no contract negotiation kind of things. Okay, but we do have, I mean, certain fixed bid kind of project now. Fixed bid with agile, I don't know. I mean, it is sort of, I mean, not exactly agile, right? So when you talk of change request, negotiation, etc., it's not, we are not really there. So I think what is needed is, I mean, if you start working with a new client, you won't develop the trust in a day. Okay, so you need constant interaction, transparency, winning the trust of the client. Then only these things will go away, and the client would be comfortable having a long-term contract. And that's how, I mean, I think the project can move towards real agile.
Can I?
I would like to hear from Balaji for
okay.
adding. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead,
So,
Balaji, please.
Yeah. See, we have been working with Gartner companies. Okay, the whole contracting stuff has been relooked from when the organizations are moving to product-based organization. right? Irrespective of the service organization or a boutique organization, the sourcing methods are getting changed. Okay. Earlier it used to be time and material, right? Then it went into a concept called squad-based pricing. And the squad-based pricing is nothing but a cap T&M kind of thing. Now people are talking into two terms. One is IT outcome and then business outcome. Okay. So if you deliver or if you deploy 10 squads and they're able to deliver certain IT outcomes, then your money is being paid. Okay. Then the second, if you deliver business outcome, like for example, customer onboarding, quarter on quarter, I increase by 1,000 people or 2,000 people, then you will get paid in the revenue share model. Okay, that's one thing. But keeping all this in mind, it's very, very important for you to keep the teams busy. So there is a work which should happen above the team level in certain fashion, so that you actually spool the or divert the whole funding in through your business capabilities or epics or business features rather than converting to the projects. Okay, so if you have to establish something called funding concepts, and that is the pivot for the product organization. Okay, funding, while Agile talks about persistent teams, but the persistent teams have to be kept busy so that they become autonomous. But this funding is very, very key, and people are struggling here. Okay, so your SOWs are going to get changed based on these 4 or 5 contractual models or sourcing models, which the Gartner is actually recommending all these big companies, right? So we will soon, what do you say, all this T&M, fixed bid, everything will disappear. Everybody is asking squad-based pricing, story point-based pricing, or business outcome-based. We are also struggling in our organization. So that's the way the SOWs are going to get changed now.
So what message I got is, yes, we are going over there. It may take some time and we'll be reaching over there, right? Now, all these are the challenges which we need to overcome as a people on the product side. The last things I will ask from Vijay before we go to customers and the audience questions answers, that will be how Agile Coach can practically help this product team to overcome these challenges.
Yeah. So when we talk about or say about product teams, right, there is definitely way of working, right, changing. And Agile Coach, right, can really help in them to become aware about what is the vision and mission we are trying to achieve, helping them to realize their potentials or guiding them in, if for example coach is playing a role of product coach also, right, helping them to understand how typical products work, what are the product principles in general they should know, how the product launching strategy works, and some real life examples, become their mentor, right, for some time initial days from a product coaching perspective, and give more and more insights from an organization perspective, why we are shifting here, what we will achieve, and what is in it for you, right, at the end of the day, how you would bring value, how you would be actually getting visible faces, right, in terms of delivering value versus the existing model. So visualizing all these things, educating them on the new ways of working, helping them in product areas, acting as mentor to give some real life examples, analogies, and that's how I think coaching goes hand in hand with this.
So basically we need to be together basically on this journey, right? Otherwise, what will happen is today, if we look on the survey, yeah, 30% of companies are doing Agile, 30% of them are doing Scrum maybe, and 40% maybe still doing the traditional way, right?
We need to find the source of that, Sunil. I don't know which source says that only 30% companies are completely following Agile and Scrum, right?
Yeah.
So any of these surveys which is being conducted is based on only the subset of people. right? Within the subset of people, we try to take some decisions. I think I forgot the name. There is one company, version 1.
Version 1, yes.
Version
Yeah.
1 used to produce every year report. I
State
think
of Agile report, basically.
the state of agile report. I think that is the golden source that we should look at. So that is something. Okay. So is it from scrum.org? I don't know.
No, it is from version 1, State of Agile
No.
report.
What
Yeah.
Kapil is saying, it is from scrum.org. I don't.
Maybe let's cover your point and then maybe we'll come back to that, Balaji, if that is fine.
Yeah, go ahead. Our Prakash had asked one good question. My good friend. In recent days, most of the product company laying off all agile or product coaches. Why so? We have debated. Maybe you should take the short turn.
Yeah, so let's see who will be taking on that fire. Okay, so maybe, yeah, go ahead, Vijay, go ahead, please.
Is it about the same product-based mindset? Why companies are shifting?
No, it is about that nowadays, a lot of companies are laying off agile coaches, right? Or product coaches. And why that is so? Specifically, if we see in the recent past, we've
Yeah.
seen a lot of such news, right? So what you feel so that, hey, what's happening on that front?
Right. So if you see the sample, right, many of the companies who laid off those people, what they said that they became mature, right, in those areas. They don't need coaching now. So that is what they are saying externally, right? But there might be some internal factors, right, which might be driving them to make this change, might be restructuring, might be they are thinking to go to product operating model now. And that's why they feel that we can bring product leaders now. We don't need coaching in terms of agile aspects, but overall product area, or altogether, right, just to safeguard them from recession, right? Or some people are opportunists, right? So it is hard to find the root cause, but as a coach, what we can do, right? We can create our own canvas, start talking with your leaders frequently, what kind of impact you are creating, whether it is making sense, right? Or you are just conducting boot camps, you are just talking about values and principles. And are you not in the process of optimizing things, right? Are you not able to make change happening, right? So coach's job is not just to educate or train, but rather be with the team, be with the entire set, right? Whoever you are working with, and create that sort of win-win situation, right? So what we have observed, I had got an opportunity to talk with some of those coaches, and then they said that, yeah, we, due to pandemic, we could not connect with many people. It was hard to connect with people one-on-one, and then it was hard to convey what I'm trying to say, right? So there are multiple patterns, situations we need to observe, right? And there is no one specific reason, right? What they say on top that, and this also sets an alarm, right? No skill is permanent. We have to keep learning new skills, acquire new skills every day. No role is safe, right? In today's world, product coaching is also not safe, though it is looking lucrative. Who knows tomorrow what happens, right? So keeping an eye of continuous learning and pivoting roles, right, especially in strategic areas, is key nowadays because of so-called VUCA world, right? So this is my learning from it and observations.
Harish, would you like to add?
my
Go ahead,
thing,
Balaji.
my thing, I think the people are getting laid off. Maybe that segment of the product team is not doing well, right? So maybe there could be some user research problem or behavioral has changed. So that
In some cases, Balaji, it was 100% layoff, right? So it is beyond, right?
Maybe I can jump in over here, right? Let me share a couple of things. Like sometime, have you seen that sometime it happens that some of the agile coaches we see, they are just agile coaches. They've never been product manager, right? Or they've never been product owner. And do we really believe that if we have not been product manager anytime, we never worked with product team specifically, can we be really those product coaches and agile coaches? Because just being that, right, if we think it is just training people, teaching people, I'm not sure if that is enough in today's scenario, right? As a agile coach, as a product coach, I need to understand, hey, customer point of view, business point of view, team point of view. And when I know about these things, I need to do my hands dirty, right? So maybe one of the codes happen is those agile coaches, are they going beyond those set boundary of teaching, facilitations, mentoring, coaching? Yeah. Maybe that can be one of the point. Let's hear from Harish also what he would like to say
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah, I think one of the point I have in mind is that how can an agile coach or product coach show value to the management? I mean, for management, I mean, sometimes it looks as a overhead, right? I mean, developer is giving value, tester is doing something. Every role has very defined set of output. Now, how is it that a product coach or an agile coach shows the value that he or she is bringing on the table? So that is something which I mean a coach needs to look into. What are the metrics that can be shown in order to show that yes, they are contributing? Is it with respect to motivating the team? Is it with respect to reducing the customer defects? Is it with respect to bringing in more coherence within the team, bringing in more, I mean, whatever different agile practices are, whether, I mean, they are truly followed, not followed. I mean, some sort of matrices, qualitative or quantitative, needs to come up in order to show their value.
Make complete sense to me. And let's take a couple of more questions from audience. Yeah, it is
Sunil, I think we are done,
Sunil,
right? We
yeah.
are running
Yeah,
short of
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Right.
There
So
is
it's
Ankit raised his hand. So Ankit, if your question is not
okay.
answered,
Ankit,
not asked
Ankit is
yet.
getting opportunity to ask all the speakers, right? In the previous section also
Yes.
he asked. Ankit, go ahead, right? You can ask. Let me unmute Ankit. Yeah.
Yes, I did it.
Okay, Ankit, you can ask now.
Thank you all, and I'm literally thank you to Sunil, Balaji, and Vijay and Harish. So I have a two queries, and the first one is with the Vijay. Like he shared the example of the cricket team. So nowadays, what we have seen in the cricket team also, like if you are not performing, or if you have a clashes with your trainer, or if you have a clashes with the board head, you are got fired. And this is the same situation we are looking in the companies also. So how you are going to justify because if I'm not wrong, the Kotisar also mentioned one point, like one person is performing well in the one stream, and once it's over in the second stream, it's not a performer, it's on the lower side. So how you are going to justify that one? It's question to Vijay sir.
Yeah, very good question. So with the same analogy, right, you can build a product or win a match with few players on few occasions, not always, right? So for example, you have one great player who performs well, but if your team is not winning, right, then there is some problem, right? Do you think, is it problem or not, right?
No, that means you are putting a burden only only on the one player.
No, so it's like somehow as a team, right, you are not developing a trait where everyone is not able to perform. Why we are not able to develop that trait, right? That is something in this case, right, say coach might be getting that question asked frequently, right? And they might do typical root cause analysis, right? That happens with every situation, and they would really know what is the cause, right? And all those causes will not be disclosed because it may impact the moral of the team, it may impact other players, and it may create source of I think a kind of insafety, right? Psychological danger situation, right? So for that purpose, few decisions are taken in the background and they make sense, right? So I have not seen any player who is performing phenomenally well and have been consistently moved out in any sports, right? It is all about waiting for an opportunity because your team is performing well at that point of time. Maybe that composition is able to solve the problem for you, right? So even if you are a best or not, it doesn't matter. What it matters, team spirit, right? As a team, how you are able to navigate. So if you have two great players versus 11 all like average players performing, that team wins more, right? So that is what product management also, right, looks into. You don't heavily depend on only one or two players, right? That's how you want to create that uniform flow, right? From start till end, involving everyone and having that shared understanding, right? So having great player is very good, but great players can win you some matches, but great team can win you many matches.
Correct. And I agreed with you, but for that we needed time. We needed time to prove wrong. Like, I'm just a coach. I can coach to the team, but team need to perform. But the management is not giving us such type of the time. And, nowadays, what we have seen in the past, in the 2 or 3 months, they are not giving it time and they are just going for the, firing option.
Yeah, nowadays it's very unfortunate situation, right? Beyond the control of management, right? Inflation, especially in Europe and US, is all-time high, like century high, right? So there are geopolitical and market conditions, right, driving organizations. They want to be safe, they want to safeguard themselves for longer period of time, right? So they can survive and sustain. And with that, what may happen, right? Any role, not coach, any role may get impacted. You see Google example recently, 3 days before, the person got the best employer award and next day he got fired. Can you tell why it happened? We cannot, right? Some things we cannot predict, right? So that's completely out of our context, right? How your leadership thinks, what they think behind it, right? Few things we cannot judge or we should not be in a position to.
Okay. And the second question which I have, and I'm not sure, like, Harish is belong to a service-based company or not, but I heard he is belong to service-based company. So thanks for that one. So Harish sir, I need your support for the second query which I'm going to raise. Nowadays, what we have seen in the service-based industry, performance goal towards the organization, they are absorbing the small companies. Either it's a product based company or either it's a service based company. Okay, so once they have observed, still they have the differences. Like, this is the part of my company and this is the part of your company. So at the end, like, when we are working on the project, so if we hired one small scale company inside of the big bull, and that is not performed well, so we are putting a blame towards that person or that the part of this small one. So how to handle this situation?
So you're talking of, sorry.
Ankit, sorry, Sharath here. Sorry to interrupt. I think your question is mostly going towards performance oriented and not from the product perspective.
It's a product perspective.
Ankit,
Sharath, may I take that question? I can answer, Ankit.
Okay, please
Ankit.
take that. After that, we'll give to another party.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks,
Ankit, your question, as Sharath said, it's more towards performance. There are two concepts here which everybody should understand, again, for the wider benefit of the participants. Area of control, area beyond control, which I keep reiterating every time. Now, whatever you speak about is area beyond control. Can you do something about it in your capacity?
As a agile coach, I can save. But at the end,
Something from doing, right? Different from doing. Do you agree to that statement?
yes.
Yes. So if unless until a person really thinks to whatever you said previously, that leadership not willing, giving your time. I have to quote this example.
Okay.
A woman needs 9 months to deliver a baby. Less than that, you know what is a problem domain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be that. So in certain cases, in other words, if Agile has to be really successful, the leadership has to blink first. That's bottom line is very, very clear. Now, having said that, you can make a difference at your level as well. The biggest problem, what I see in the transformation space.
Agreed.
Hold on, let me complete. What I see in the transformation space is we look and we focus on areas which are beyond our control, not in our labs. We are not focusing on areas on what we can actually make a difference, bring about a difference.
Agreed, sir. Agreed, sir.
That's where we will have to concentrate on. I think that's
Ankit,
stage or the key takeaway, right?
Completely agreed, sir. But as the Vijay sir told, okay, some things which we can't control because that is in the different mindset or the different prospect. So how the agile coach will going to pretend like a safeguard for the team side?
Fine. There are multiple answers to it. There's nothing like a right or wrong answer from a coach perspective. Now, leadership is not giving you space to try. So there are areas where you can actually try. For example, no leader will be against doing ceremonies. You know what they will say, do your ceremonies, but also deliver. I don't mind you doing all the ceremonies, but you can.
Anand, I think this could be one of the questions during the lean coffee sessions.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so I think we should park this question to the lean coffee session.
Yep,
so that a lot of things still
true. Why not?
could be what do you say, covered as
accepted.
Ankit, just to wrap up the question, right? So this totally got diverted from the product coaching. So I mean, of course.
But the good perspective, right? Good perspective. Thank you for bringing it, right? And I believe, as we say, let's move on to the next one also, right? Because let's not get hung on one thing, but just to sum it up, let's hear from Satish to sum it up, right?
Sure.
We are already beyond 20 minutes. We still.
I think there are two questions.
20 minutes on Friday evening.
And
I know. Kaushik.
Kiran Boini is going to ask.
Kaushik, yes, you can speak.
Yeah, I think I'm audible. My question is, since you're talking about Agile Coach, product management, all, in the phase of where we're talking about low code, we're having technologies like Salesforce Service now, how relevant is product owners or product management will be in future? Because these are all click and drop and like all these kind of things, how relevant they are for future?
If I take it shortly, it will be relevant till the time developers don't get the hat of users or customer. So it will never die. Short and sweet answer.
And just to add on, yeah, it might be click and drop or drag and drop, but the developer or team should know what to click and drop or when to do where. It's not just because I have 100 things which I can drag and drop into the page or into the application. It won't help the developer or the team members to get the idea when to do what. That's where the product manager still plays a key role.
Okay. So, so I'm understanding that there are high hopes for this role still, though there is a severe layoff, but still we can expect that jobs will be there in future also, though the technologies are upgrading. Thank you.
Can I jump in over here quickly? Very short one. I can tell you one thing. Like maybe, even in sports team, coaches get fired, right? But trust me, today also, if you search one query anywhere, the highest demand is for the right coaches, basically. And I can tell you one thing, till the time product will exist, product coaches will exist. That is what I can say. Yes, the different thing happened. In past, we never did waterfall or traditional way of working well. And we said this doesn't work for us. Now we are not doing agile well, and people will say it doesn't work for us. But I can tell you, till the time product will remain, product coaches or agile coaches, of course, they need to come out of their comfort zone, right? They will exist. And if you look today trends, it's going up and up. You're looking only on the news which are getting laid off. How many of us know hiring, right? How many hiring are happening? How many of the people who got laid off are really out of the work today? Yeah, think in that perspective.
Exactly. In fact, in our company, I mean, I have not seen any laying off. We have 100+ vacancies for which we are looking for people. So it's not always like that. And one more thing I'd like to add is, yes, we need to relearn the things as agile coach, learn new skills. I mean, to remain relevant.
Kaushik, coming back to you, did you got your answer or do you have some follow-up question on this?
No, I'm done. I've got my answer. But just to give an analogy, what Vijay was taking about cricket, whenever we hear the cricket or the final or whatever the trophy session, always the coaches or captains will say, we did not do anything new. We let the player play the natural game. So we never understand what these players are doing.
That's the best thing, right? You don't take credit.
Yeah, that's the role of product, any coach or any leader. I mean, making himself or herself redundant, and let the team take all the credit.
Right.
Exactly. Okay. Thanks for wonderful panel and wonderful participation, the discussion. Definitely we lit some fire over a Friday night to get some thought process going on. Okay, let me quickly share my screen. And thanks for all the panelists. We would like to share a small token of appreciation from our side as a digital certificate. We will be sharing it over to your emails. And thanks for all the active participation from the participants and bringing up different thoughtful questions and getting it done. With this, we are coming towards end of day one. And tomorrow, just to share quickly, tomorrow again we will start at 5 o'clock until 10 o'clock. And tomorrow we have double the fire. Agile coaching plus the transformation. So 2 fireside charts, 8:30 to 10, back to back. So, but the typical, the common session starts at 5 o'clock. So keep watching the WhatsApp for the links. We already shared in the PDF. If in case you don't have the links handy, we will share it across again tomorrow before the start of the session. Okay, so that brings us to end of day one. And feel free to pass on the feedback. The feedback link is already shared. It is totally anonymous. We are not capturing any of the user details for the feedback. Keep sharing the feedback, which will help us improve, bring effective sessions, effective topics or speakers going ahead. Thanks, everyone. Good night. Have a nice weekend. Let's get energized for tomorrow's session.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.